Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we've got something brand new and super exciting for you. The awesome team over at BagSmart has just unveiled their latest release. It's the Blast Pro 40 litre travel backpack, officially launching on July 4th. We've got our hands on one right here in the gorgeous shade blue colorway, and in this video we're diving deep into everything this backpack has to offer, from smart compartments to comfort to build quality and everything in between. So grab your popcorn, grab your drinks, and let's jump right into it. Here's a quick rundown of the Blast Pro 40 litres travel backpack. It's got a 40 litre capacity, a carry-on approved for most airlines, built for trips up to 1 week, no need for a check-in bag. You're getting smart organisation throughout, including quick access compartments, waterproof pouches, so no extra toiletry bag needed, an RFID blocking pocket, and a mesh panel for your grab and go items. All in all, it could be the perfect all-in-one backpack for travellers, digital nomads who want space, some funky style, and most importantly, functionality. Before we go ahead, as usual, I'll just put up the features up on the screen. Have a little read through it and pause the screen if you have to. Let's start with the exterior of the Blast Pro 40 litres travel backpack. This is the next step up from the original Blast travel backpack which I reviewed. Now with a fixed 40 litre capacity this gives, it gives you an extra 2 litres over the previous version. Keep in mind it's not expandable, but let's take a look at what's new. So right up at the front you'll notice the mesh compartment, which is one of the biggest visual and functional differences. It's separate from the main compartment. It's slightly see-through, but it is large enough to hold quick access items that you might need, but probably not the best spot for valuables as you can see through it, but it offers a lot of breathability as well. So maybe like an umbrella, little raincoat or something like that you can stow away in here, and it would fit a lot of larger items because this pocket's quite big. So nothing much to say here, very simple and straightforward. At the top right you do get a bit of the logo right here, and you'll notice this beautiful exterior, the ripstop nylon all over the backpack, and it does come in that nice little shade blue colorway here, which is a nice breakaway from the typical black that you see. Yeah, so moving to the sides, we do have the compression straps. As you'll notice on the previous bags as well, the previous backpacks, they all include this type of design on both sides, which is consistent. You got a carrying handle here, and then on the side here you do have a little RFID protection pocket in here, which is spacious enough to store your cards in here and valuable items. It's not exactly too big, but it's big enough to store your cards. So starts here, so you have this amount of width to it, and it does have a nice metallic silver lining in here, which is very nice. And I think this is the only pocket that has this type of pocket, so I think it's the RFID protection technology built in here. And then just to the other side you do have the water bottle pockets. This one is 30 ounce, which is around 850 milliliters, and it's just shy of 1 litres, but it still can hold quite a large capacity, I must say, compared to the other one. The other one is 40 ounces, I believe. So it does have a bit of stretchability here, which allows for larger bottles. You do have the 2 compression straps, like I said, that you can ideally use this maybe to hold a tripod even as well, but it's used to compress this down and this as compact as possible when you're traveling. So you would appreciate these, especially when the backpack is fully loaded out. You'll want to compress everything down, and then you just have a bit of branding right here that says Blast, so you'll be able to distinguish this one as the Blast Pro. The carrying straps, the carrying handles, you got one on the side here, and then 2 at the one at the top and bottom that you could carry in which position that suits you. And it does come in this BagSmart signature colorway, the turquoise, that you'll probably recognize by now. So just moving down to the bottom where the dedicated shoe compartment is, there is a nice upgrade here compared to the previous model. When you unzip it here, you'll notice that there is an excess fabric where your shoes tuck in. What's cool about this is that the fabric can either feed into the main compartment, or if you're not using it, it can roll up and zip it closed from the inside and roll up here, keeping it separate and it doesn't get in the way of your packing. So there's a little compartment on the other side that you could use to unzip this and then feed this through, which I'll show you in a bit when I get to the main compartment. So that's that, and it does have this nice velvety material here as well, this grey lining, and 2 ventilation holes for wet items or humid items that could get in here that you probably don't want it building up and creating some kind of mold or something like that. You could see with this new change and new design upgrade from the previous version that they've adjusted and made it a bit more better actually. It's a small detail but a smart one, especially with the older version. It doesn't have this type of design option, and you can see that they improved it a bit more. So just turning to the top now, to the quick access compartment. Typically used for things like sunglasses, but on the Blast Pro 40 litres, this pocket is actually surprisingly spacious, definitely larger than what you find on most backpacks. It does open up with these accordion sides and does have a wider opening. The area is so spacious. It does have this nice fabric lining material to keep and protect your sunglasses or your device screens like your phone, and then you can store whatever you want as well in here. It doesn't have to be limited to that. And then you do have these 2 pockets with a zippered mesh lining that divides into 2, and you can use that to keep little small items in here that I'm sure you know what to store in here if you were to use it. But yeah, very big, this particular pocket. As you can see, not many backpacks actually open this wide as well. They're usually very slim profiled and very thin. So a good win up here. There isn't exactly most protection here, so I'm sure if you could put your glasses in a case, then it should be fine, but just keep that in mind. So turning to the back now, the Blast Pro features a well thought out harness system with a few solid upgrades. At the top here you'll see that it does have 2 load lifter straps included, which help hold the bag, the top part of the bag closer to your body, improving fit and evenly distributing the weight, especially when the bag's fully packed. Trust me, with these on Pro backpacks, these make the biggest difference, and especially when it's very heavy, they will come in clutch and just make the weight feel so much more even on your back. I really do like these 2 features, so to see this is a nice additional feature. At the back it is divided into 3 sections. As you can see that there's a split along here and along here. This can bend and become a bit more rounded and flexibility to contour to your body for better comfort. The back is still quite flat as well, but it does offer decent breathability with this 8mm padding, and it is nice and plush for long-term use. And yeah, the shoulder straps are nicely padded as well with breathable mesh just underneath, exactly the same as the back padding. And it does include attachment loops up here, or cable management. More cable management, but I'm sure you could use that for attaching something that you want. You got some branding here, which is attachments, and then you do have the chest strap that is included. Very simple, nothing too crazy. Exactly the same as you get on the previous backpack. And you do have an adjustable points here on the straps that you could use to adjust to your comfort. At the bottom it is just your normal buckles and adjustment straps, nothing too crazy here, and they're pretty easy to adjust and organize when you have it actually on. And then moving to the bottom, the lower bottom part, you do have an additional waist strap which is included, which is actually really nice as well. You can wrap this around your waist, tighten this up for a more lockdown comfort. This will come in handy, especially when things get packed out and get quite heavy as well. In 3 parts, you have the lower, the center and the upper, all conformed and tightened to your body in equal positions to get the maximum comfort out of this backpack, which is very good that this is built in as well. And if you don't want to use it, you could just unclip it and just stow it away underneath in here, keeping this away and hidden if you no longer need to use it. A little feature. And then just in the center here, as you can see, you do have the horizontal luggage strap pass through that you could use to put your luggage pass through. Some people prefer it in this position, and most bags usually have it the other way where it sits like this. So that's a personal preference, but I don't really mind because I don't really use this anyway. Lastly, to the left here, you do have a little hidden zippered compartment. Nice velvety material, grey lining in here that you can stow away your important valuable items. It does go to about here, so it does have quite a good amount of depth in here, and it's quite big, so you can put really anything that you feel is quite important back here, nice and close to your body when you're traveling. So moving on to the front compartment, they do have these YKK zippers. Most of them are doubled, and it does have this long cord attachment at the very end of it for easy grip, and it's pretty consistent on the other BagSmart backpacks as well. Same type of zippers. You open up here and you do get this front compartment, which is actually quite large for a slim section. It does have this nice velvety material again, and you do have this key attachment loop right here that you can use. It's quite short in length, some are quite long. I feel like this is okay, and I don't really use this anyway, but I'm sure many of you guys will appreciate this. We do have two large open pockets and a pen stylus section right here. One is mesh material and one is just the normal fabric material, and you can use this however you like it to stow away your items. In here you can have, let's say if you have headphone cases, you can store in here, or like a tech pouch or something like that. Any of the pouches can fit in here quite nicely. They are quite thin, not too bulky, and maintain that slim profile. So yeah, utilize this the way you want, and that's the front compartment. So just moving on to the main compartment here. Once I open it up, you'll notice that there is a ton of space. You get this beautiful grey lining again, like I said, and you do get this good amount of depth. And this time, like I mentioned earlier, it is fixed. It's not expandable like the previous one. It's fixed at 40 litres, so you do have an incredible amount of space. First thing you'll notice as well, these two compression straps. Utilize them however way you want, and these should compress your clothes down quite nicely. And then you do have this compartment, like I mentioned earlier, for a shoe compartment that filters into the center or the main compartment if you were to use it. So right here, it does expand in, but if you don't want to use it, you could just neatly tuck it away and zip up this little compartment and keep it separate from the main area, which is pretty nice, and it makes it a lot more tidier. We don't have any additional organization on the side walls, but it's okay, of the interior. I mean, that's pretty much it. And then on the flap side, you do have this waterproof section right up here. At the top here, it's divided into two. This has the height, so you can store longer bottles that's taller, that more upright, and you can store your toothbrush, your creams, your shampoos, all this stuff can go in here, so you don't need that additional toiletry bag. And then you do have this section here that you could use to store your dirty laundry or socks or underwear, because it has mesh and it's breathable, and you can see what's inside quite quickly with the little holes. Makes it easy to distinguish what you have unused or used. So pretty much this compartment is very simple, this main compartment, nothing too sophisticated, but you can see how all this in here makes it an all-in-one solution. On to the last main compartment here, we do have the tech section. So once I open it up, you can see that the tech compartment at the back here is very well padded. Dedicated tech storage is designed to store a laptop up to 15.6 inches. This compartment stands out this time with its raised bumps and suspension structure that reduce shocks and scratches. So on the sides, I'll zoom up on the B-roll and let you see that there is all these little bumps on the sides here, and at the bottom as well. It does have this nice velvet fleeced material for the padding, which is really nice and soft to keep your laptop safe during travel. And then there's also a Velcro strap to keep everything down and secured, and just in front of it as well there is a little tablet sleeve, so you got a laptop and a tablet sleeve doubled up. In the main area here, you do have a slim section right here that you can use to store your headphones, like I said, or a pouch. It's a slim pocket and area, but I'm sure you can fit something that's slim profile in here. And then just on this side, you do have a mesh compartment that you can use to store wires, cables, adapters, or anything like that. And here is only to halfway, but it's also quite large as well, in my opinion. Very simple compartment, but definitely a bit more of a redesigned one that actually adds a bit more protection to your dedicated tech gears in here. It does provide actually a false bottom too, so it doesn't exactly reach the floor just a little bit, not too much, but it does have a bit off the ground. Yeah, I do like this actually redesigned section here. There's a lot of emphasis on padding and protection, so thumbs up for that for your expensive goods. So here's the backpack loaded out with some of the thicker items that I've just quickly fired in here, just to give you a quick demonstration of what it could fit. So at the back, we got the tech compartment right here, and I do have the laptop, 16-inch MacBook Pro, and it fits perfectly fine in here with a Falco strap right down. So that's sorted. At the top here, we do have sunglasses that I've stowed away in here, which fits fine with no problem at all. And then in the main compartment at the front, I didn't really put anything in here, but it's more in the main compartment that I'll show you that I've loaded aside. And if you can see, I got a pair of shoes in here. I got some underwear up here, that you can see, some underwear. I didn't fill this one out, but if I can take out the shoes and show you, you can roughly get an idea of what can fit. So you got the shoes, and then you got this compartment that you can stow away. I used the compressor straps, and you can roughly get an estimate idea what we got in here. So I do have, let's say, 1, 2, 3 t-shirts, and then I do have 1, 2, 3, 4 pants, 2 shorts and 2 long pants, and then underneath I do have 2 heavyweight hoodies underneath. And with the compression straps, I'm certainly sure that you can still get just a few more items in here as well. It does depend on your clothing. I like to wear heavy, oversized hoodies, so my hoodies tend to be quite thick. If you're someone that has a lot of gym gear as well, or activewear, and they're a lot thinner and lighter, you definitely could fit so much more in here. But hopefully that just gives you an estimate of what you could store away in here. And obviously there's plenty of more room here when I close it. I still can fill this up as well quite nicely. So yeah, hopefully that gives you a rough idea of what you can sort of fit in here. So here's the on-body look, and I'm just going to strap everything in. So starting with the adjustable straps at the bottom here, tighten that up, and then I'm going to tighten the chest strap, tighten that up, and then the load lifting straps, I'm going to tighten this one up, and then I'm going to adjust the waist strap as well, nice in place, and you can see how much it hugs your body. And yeah, definitely feel that this is quite nice. The only thing I must say is that the strap here, if you strapping it, tighten it too much, it can squeeze your stomach, so don't tighten this too much. But it does have nice paddings on the side, so everything tightened, but the lower one, don't strap it too tight or it will squeeze into your body, especially if you have a bit of a belly like me. It does hurt a little, so just don't strap it in too tight and you should be good. So on to pricing, size and colour. The Blast Pro 40 litre is priced at $109.99 US and is primarily launching for the US market for now. If you're outside of the US, keep an eye out on BagSmart social media or website for updates about availability in other countries. It officially launches today, July 4th, so it should be available by the time you're watching this video. You've got 4 colour options to choose from: green smoke, black, oyster and shade blue. Plenty of choices to suit your style. So what do I think of the Blast Pro 40 litre travel backpack? Well, BagSmart has definitely done it again with this upgrade to their popular Blast travel backpack. Is the Pro version worth the extra cost? I'd say yes in my opinion. These small but thoughtful features may seem minor first, but when you're travelling, especially with a fully packed bag carried for long extended periods, they will really come in clutch and make a big difference. The added comfort and the smart details help manage the load and make the travel experience much more easier. You do get a large water bottle holder, a dedicated toiletry section, a laptop compartment that might even rival some more backpacks that are in the higher range, a more pricier range, with plenty of organisation and smart quick access pockets. This really is a solid introduction to a well-rounded travel backpack. A 40 litres capacity pack with pro level features and priced around $109.99, this backpack offers such great value, especially considering backpacks with similar specs often cost much more. Proper care, I can see this lasting quite a long time, especially if you take good care of it. And yeah, if you're interested, BagSmart has kindly given me a 10% discount code for you to use. Just enter Pro William at checkout. I'll put it up on screen and link it all down below. Make sure to check that out and save yourself some bucks, and it will go back in helping the channel out and supporting the channel. So yeah, thanks very much for watching guys, and a big shout out to BagSmart for sending this one over. That's it for today guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one.